Anybody in this auditorium seen my show before? Welcome back. To the rest of you, let me take a moment and introduce myself. I am comic hypnotist Michael Ray, and tonight I'm going to be your host into a world of the bizarre. A world not unlike that of parapsychology and ufology. I am, of course, talking about the world of hypnosis. Now, the reason I make these parallels is because, like parapsychology and ufology, hypnosis does have sufficient amount of documentation, but has yet to be fully accepted by the scientific community as a whole. Although the techniques have been used throughout the centuries by Celtic druids, Chinese teachers of religion, and African witch doctors, it was not until relatively recent history that we as the general public know anything about hypnosis. The year was 1776, and an Austrian doctor released his doctoral dissertation entitled The Planetarium Flux. In that paper, he theorized that you and I, like the planet Earth itself, were magnetic in nature. If you or I were sick, physically or mentally, it was because, according to his theories, that our magnetic flux was out of alignment. And he literally traveled France, curing people by touching them with magnetized rods. This Austrian doctor's name was Franz Anton Mesmer, hence the term mesmerism. More recently, in the year 1842, Dr. James Braid witnessed the phenomenon. Its somber-like appearance. And he coined a phrase borrowing from the Greek god of sleep, hypnos, hence the term hypnosis. But let me assure you, hypnosis is not sleep. And you can prove that to yourself tonight if you are a consenting adult. At about 3 in the morning, wake yourself and whisper into the ear of a sleeping bedmate. And try to get that person to do something he or she would not ordinarily do for you. It does not work. God knows, I've tried. Rather, hypnosis is a relationship of trust between the subject and the operator. Now, there are 3 types of people that cannot be hypnotized. First is the idiot. By that, I mean the clinical definition. Those with reduced mental capabilities cannot focus their attention long enough to go into a state of hypnosis. The second type of person that cannot be hypnotized is the drunk. Prove it! Okay. Actually, a drunkard will go under very quickly and very easily, but it's only a matter of a few minutes before the only thing you hear from them is... The third type of person that cannot be hypnotized is the defiant, those who say, no, no, not me. And I am at a disadvantage. I wear the title hypnotist. I'm recognizable. People can put that roadblock up. But let me assure you that everyone in this audience has been hypnotized before. Nobody warned you first. Example, you're reading a book or you're watching a movie, you laugh, you cry. Your emotions have been manipulated. You're driving. My thing's the Twin Bridges coming up from Albany. How did I get past them? I don't remember. Or if you're taking a long trip, you're 20 minutes ahead of where you think you should be. It's called road hypnosis. You go to the doctor, he rubs your arm with alcohol and says, relax, just a little pressure, a little pinprick, no big deal. Done. If the same doctor took the same needle and said, hold on to the arm of the chair, it's a big SOB, here it comes! It would hurt more. It's called waking hypnosis. Doctors and dentists use it all the time, but for the better. Now, before we get started with the program, I want to give everyone here an opportunity to test for yourselves where you lie in your ability to accept suggestion. We're going to do this with 2 tests. I'm going to show you those tests in advance because when we actually do the tests, we're going to do them with our eyes closed. That serves a couple of purposes. With our eyes closed, you can better use your mind's eye to see, to feel, and to experience what it is I'm describing to you. And secondly, with your eyes closed, the people in the front aren't paranoid that the people in the back are watching them. So, please follow along. Take your hands like this. Intertwine your fingers. Press nice and tight together. Then when I ask, placing your hands palm upward towards the ceiling like this. Go ahead. Now, if you are seated next to somebody with bad body odor, I apologize. But once you are in that position, I'm going to ask you to use your mind's eye, use your full imagination to see, to feel, to experience what it is I'm describing to you. Go ahead, put your hands down. The second test involves the dominant hand. That's the one you write with. Bring it to about eye level. Placing now your finger against your thumb, not like an okay sign, but rather fingerprint to thumbprint. With the other three fingers now pressed down towards those two. Again, once we're in that position, I'm going to ask that you use your mind's eye, use your full imagination to see, to feel, and to experience what it is I'm describing to you. Go ahead and put your hands down. Now, what's he talking about? Using my mind's eye to see, feel, and experience. A good example of this is the following question. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and ponder the answer to this question. How many windows are on the lower floor of your home? Go ahead, close your eyes. Figure it out. Now, it does not matter what that number is. It's all individual. What does matter is what you did inside your head. If you were atypical, you started to your left. Whatever room that may be. Let's say kitchen. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, the question is, while you were in that kitchen, did you see the sink and the faucet? Or did you just see a window? As you moved through, did you see other details, the furnishings? Did you see through the glass into the yard? Did you sense anything else? Smells, textures. The more vivid your trip through your house was, that's the mind's eye we're looking about tapping into.